Everybody, what's up? Okay, I'm
How
back.
about the way I'm having?
Hey there, how you doing?
Fine.
All right. Okay, I want the best chicken sandwich you got. What is it?
We don't have that patty right now.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, personally, I think it's spicy one, but we don't have that patty right now. We ran out.
Wait a second. You you guys ran out of the chicken patties.
I'm sorry?
You guys ran out of the chicken patties.
Yeah, we ran out of the chicken patty.
They ran out of chicken patties at Wendy's. Can you believe this? I'm on a live stream, man, because we're trying to find out who makes the best chicken sandwich.
It's crazy, bro.
Okay, so you guys have been getting the chicken sandwiches as well too. Now you put me on hold. No one has chicken patties.
You saying?
Okay, the Asiago Ranch Club. What's in that?
Um, ranch, Asiago cheese, lettuce, and tomato.
Can you make that?
It won't be on a spicy.
It won't be on the chicken patty.
Yeah, it won't be on a spicy patty, but we have home style and grilled.
I can do grilled. Grilled is fine.
Okay, just a sandwich.
No, I want the combo, man, because I want one of these craft lemonades too.
Okay, so you want
I'm trying to see
the
which
grilled,
one.
and you want it warm in the large?
Let's do large, and I want the wild berry.
The wild berry? I got you.
Yeah, wild berry. Yeah, let's go wild with it.
I got you. That's everything?
$12.34. Yeah, that'll do it, man. Knock it out.
Got you. 12.34 second window.
Thank you.
I got you.
Lord, $12.34, but I'm making it happen. Look, they don't have the regular patty, but they have this. Do I have $12.94? I gotta make sure I got $12.94. Let me see. Ooh, wow. Give me a second, people. I gotta make sure I got $12.94. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry about that. I got $12.94. I had to make sure I'm doing this, and I'm like, I wasn't planning on doing this or not. Okay. Okay, here. I'm like, I went and bought the food, and then I'm like, wait a second, can I even pay for it? All right. So this is what I did. I went, instead of getting the patty that I really wanted. Hey, what's up, man? Okay, instead of getting the patty I really wanted, I said, look, let me get the best, most expensive thing they have. And usually that's at the bottom of the stream. So I got it's the spicy Asiago? I got the spicy Asiago grilled with the big wild berry lemonade. You know, like Steve Harvey said, go big or go home. So that's what I'm doing right now.
You on your own podcast?
Yeah, I'm on live stream. Check it out. This is the guy from you see? He's got it. Jeez. Yeah, it's all right. He got the guy from Wendy's is Philly. Yeah. But I wanna know what there's, cause get this. Wendy's has been silent about it, but now Wendy's ran out of food. I'm like, what? And get this, there's nobody here. There's like nobody in the parking lot, but they don't have the chicken sandwich either. So we're gonna find out. I'm really curious because they ran out of chicken breast too. The lemonade is good. I like it. It's pretty good. I like it. It takes a couple of seconds for it to really hit. And I like it. I'll come back here and get this regularly. This is really nice. So we'll see. All right, just waiting for the food to come and do the thing. I'm gonna pull up a little bit so you can see it. Ah, there you go. So you're gonna pull up a little bit so y'all can see it as it comes through the window here. You know, got to get the perspective right. So, yeah. It's coming in just a second, but I don't even know what I really got when it came down to it. I just said Asiago. It sounds like it's tasty, so I figured let me get it. But you know what I'm learning now? Fast food is no longer cheap. You can't get away with $5 at a fast food joint like you used to. All right, thank you so much. You have a great day. Thank you. You can't now. You got to be prepared to drop $20 at fast food joints. You do. And Wendy's. The thing about Wendy's is, unlike McDonald's and Burger King and all these other places, Wendy's is one of the most expensive fast food places around. But you get good food with them. You get really good food with them. So it's like, well, all right, people. So here I am at Wendy's in Hawthorne. I'm gonna change the picture here. And this one's super hot off the grill. I mean, they literally just gave it to me. Take off my seatbelt because I'm probably gonna need to have some freedom here as I eat this one. Do some housekeeping real quick. Oh boy. All right. They gave me a large order of fries. These are good. These fries are good. I like them. You know, I used to put ketchup on my fries. I don't do ketchup on fries anymore. I actually like it now. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is what I did. I went to Wendy's and I got the number 13, the Asiago grilled chicken sandwich. So you can see it's wrapped up really cool here, and this is it. It's got the grilled chicken, lettuce, tomato, Swiss cheese, and it looks like it has bacon also. It looks good, and it smells good. So let's see. I tell you, I like the lettuce and tomato, but because it has more water content, it probably won't be as hearty as the Popeyes chicken sandwich was. But we'll see. But they don't have the spicy patties anymore to compete, because apparently people have been going all over the place getting these chicken sandwiches. So yeah, it's a lovely looking sandwich when you do all the stuff that's going on with it. It's great, but I can tell you this: the bread isn't the same as what they use in the Popeyes sandwich. I'm almost willing to bet on the Popeyes sandwich, you have the butter, and they probably add a little bit of sugar into the bun, and that's why. And then it's toasted as well. Like, see, if you look at this one, it's toasted, but not to the degree that they do at Popeyes. Also, this bun is soft, and it's very soft. It has a good smell to it. I like it. It's very appealing. Okay, so let's go ahead and knock this bad boy out and see what's going on. I don't have any expectations for this. No expectations. I had high expectations for Popeyes because I like Popeyes. But for Wendy's, I don't come to Wendy's that often, but we'll see. It's good. Okay. Oh, okay. See, this one, you have a lot more stuff going on with it. No, I don't think it's overpriced, or it is expensive. But see, here's what you got to remember. First, you've got 5 different things combining together with this chicken sandwich. You've got the bread. You've got the grilled chicken that tastes completely different than the grilled chicken that tastes completely different than bread chicken. You've got the lettuce and the tomato, And then you have the bacon. The bacon is in there as well too. That adds a little bit of kick to it. And then you have the sauce and the cheese. So there's like 7 things. It's different. It's good. It tastes more like a chicken salad in a bun is what it tastes like, which is really nice. This is good. But you know, I have to say this. They're putting something in those Popeyes chicken sandwiches. They are. Because, but this is, I think maybe, I don't know. I mean, I like the sandwich. This is a good sandwich. I like it. Oh. This is a good sandwich. But it's different than the Popeyes because remember the Popeyes is breaded. And I don't think you'll ever get anything from Popeyes that's not breaded. The chicken is definitely is delicious on top. I'm just surprised they didn't have any of the grilled chicken do an apples to apples comparison. I will say this. This chicken is better than the Chick-fil-A sandwich. But then you gotta remember, the Chick-fil-A sandwich is very basic because Chick-fil-A, they don't put lettuce and tomato on their sandwich. So, we'll see. But I like this sandwich. This is good. I'll come here regularly for this sandwich. This is a great sandwich. What's something I come here regularly for? To spend what, nearly $15 for the combo deal or so is all right because whenever I went to Chick-fil-A, I think the reason why I kind of stopped going to Chick-fil-A so much is because when everything was said and done, I needed to have about $20 to go to Chick-fil-A. Go for it, OC Rideshare. Talk to me. That's a good sandwich. I like it. Oh yeah. $500. $500 I paid for this truck. $100 a day. I break down the weekly rent by how much I need to make in a day to keep it. Because, see, that's why I stayed with the BMW for so long. Because the BMW, even though it was $750 a week for the Beamer, if you take $750 and divide it by 5, that was $125 a day. And as long as I made that $125 a day, 125 times 5. I'm sorry. Okay. It was actually for 6 days. So it was $150 for 5 days or $125 for 6 days. So as long as I made $150 a day over 5 days, I could hold on to the car. That was the goal. That was the plan. I figured the best way to eat that elephant was one bite at a time, one day at a time. Don't stress over don't stress over the total cost. Like for example, with the Jeep Renegade, okay, the payment for the Jeep Renegade was $725 a month. So I said, okay, if I take $725 and I divide that by 20 days a month, I had to make $36 a day. Even on my worst day as an UberX driver, I'm gonna make $36 a day. So I didn't look at it as $725. 725 divided by 20 days, $36.25 a day. So basically $37 a day, basically $40 a day. So I'm like, okay, as a rideshare driver, I can do $40 a day. I mean, worst case scenario, if I even have to go and get a job, and then make the $40 a day, make the car payment, I'm all right. Even working $40 a day, I'm not going to put a ton of miles on the vehicle if that's what it came down to. I'm like, okay, I can do this. This is fine. But that deal fell apart when two very important things happened. When I got the car, they gave me the car. They put me in the vehicle with $0 down. I didn't have to give them a penny. And they gave me 45 days to make the first payment. That was awesome. So then they came to me 2 days later and they said, hey, Peterson, we got you in the deal. We got the car approved. Everything is good to go. But we need you to give us some money down. They want cash out of pocket. And so I realized, okay, they may have pulled a bait and switch on me. So I said, look, I need 2 weeks and I can give you $1,000. Okay, great, no problem. But then my friend's grandmother moved into the house because that's why she got the house in the first place. And when she moved into the house, my attention had to be focused on caring for her grandmother. So in the morning, I had to be at the house. I had to be at the house by, I remember this. I had to be at the house by 5:30 in the morning. A couple of times I was late to the house because I was getting sleepy at about 2 in the morning and I couldn't drive. A couple of times I was driving home. Once I almost ran off the road with the customer in the car. And once I almost ran into the back of a semi with the customer in the car. I'm so stressed out about getting to the house on time so Cynthia could get to work. Cynthia wasn't hearing it. She didn't want to hear what my problems were. She's like, look, I need to get to work. So I'm losing my job. You need to be here at this house on time. So I'm stressing out every day because I'm worried about keeping Cynthia happy. And then when I do get to the house, I'm half asleep trying to care for the grandmother. And what was supposed to turn into me just simply sitting there for 2 hours in the morning, it turned into me being there from 4 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock in the morning. Got to stay with grandmother the whole time. In order for me to make the money that I needed to make on rideshare as an UberX driver, I absolutely had to drive 12 hours a day. There was no way around it. That meant When I worked, I had to work continuously from 11 a.m. when the second daycare person came through until 11 o'clock at night. Couldn't take any breaks. Maybe go to the restroom, maybe get one meal to eat during the day, but I had to work the whole 12 hours. When I'm done, I would go into the house at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. And then as I'm walking in the house to go to my bedroom, grandmother would wake up. And so I would have to stay up, go into the bedroom with grandmother and make sure that she stayed asleep. If I got up and left and went into my room, she would wake up again. So I would have to stay in that bedroom and make sure that I was there the whole time so grandmother would remain asleep, because Cynthia needed her sleep so she could go to work. I'm sleeping in a hard, those office chairs that you fold in, those cheap fold office chairs. I slept like that. It got so bad that in order for me to get sleep when I was done driving, and so I wouldn't be late to the house, when I was done driving from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m., I would drive and I would be parked right around the corner from the house, and I would sleep in the car away from the house so I could get rest. And then I was late getting to the house a third time, and mind you, I'm literally right there at the house and I'm late. Because as far as Cynthia's concerned, it didn't matter if I was right around the corner or all the way in Ventura. Late is late. So I'm on pins and needles the whole time staying with Cynthia because I'm worried about what is the next thing I'm going to do wrong. Meanwhile, I'm not making the money I need to make, because when I left the house, I would go out and try to drive, but I'm so exhausted, I can't drive. I'm sleeping more than I'm working. So I'm making less than the money. I'm making less than what I needed to actually pay this $40 a day to make the car payment due. By this time, I done missed the $1,000 that I was supposed to pay for the down payment. I'm still worried about making that first payment on February 1st, because I got the car on December the 4th, and they gave me 45 days to make that first payment. I'm getting no sleep, no rest whatsoever. You know, as a rideshare driver, you need to have your rest. So I'm up with the grandmother, with her from 5:30 in the morning until 11. I'm driving as best as I can, trying to make the money to pay the down payment, trying to make the monthly payments, still trying to pay for the storage, still trying to keep the cell phone on, and I'm exhausted. Just completely and totally exhausted. When I finally do get a break and I'm able to drive, Cynthia's doing some kind of event. She needs me to stay at the house a little longer than planned, because she's out doing whatever she's doing. And you know me, I'm the nice guy. I'm thankful and appreciative. I said, sure, no problem. Whatever issue I'm dealing with, I'll figure it out. But whenever I did something wrong, she would cuss me out. Like, it was just indescribable how bad I was verbally abused. And it hurt because I'm watching my life fall apart financially around me, and I'm not really complaining about it or saying anything. But what really hurt was that I am at the house caring for her grandmother, and she's saying all kinds of things to me, and I'm the one responsible for wiping her grandmother when she uses the bathroom, when she relieves herself. Grandmother has dementia, so she's calling me all kinds of crazy names and all like that. And when it's time to change her diaper, I'm changing the diaper, and I'm the one wiping her. And then her grandmother develops a bed sore, and it becomes really bad. And the bed sore has to be, the bandages on the bed sore have to be changed on a fairly regular basis so it doesn't get worse. It doesn't go from a stage 1 to a stage 2, or even worse to a stage 3 and gets infected. And it takes weeks to take care of that bed sore the right way. I'm doing things to care for her grandmother, and these tasks, even though I'm trained to do it, those tasks are reserved for when I need to take care of my mom or my father, not to take care of somebody else. And I'm being cussed out the whole time. So eventually, we get to a point where she sends me a message that's so angry and so bitter and just so ugly. And I sit back and I realize this will not end. It won't stop. I knew Cynthia for 28 years, and she was a dear friend. She was very important to me. She was a person that was there with me through thick and thin. She is the closest woman that I came to having a wife. And for 28 years, we were awesome friends. But whenever there was a conflict, because we didn't live together, it was easy to be apart for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. And then when something happened, Pete, what's up? How you doing? Hey, you want to go out and eat? Hey, Pete, what's up? I need someone that needs a friend. Can you help me? Whenever they would call, I would drop anything and I would do it for Cynthia, because Cynthia was always there for me. She knew she could count on me, and I knew I could count on her when the chips were down. But when I lived with Cynthia, from November until March, I was on pins and needles every day. I was afraid to say my own name around her sometimes. It felt like anything and everything I did was completely wrong, completely inadequate. And it got to a point I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I'll go back to living in my car. And that's what I did. She cussed me out, and I still have that text message to remind myself. And I said, hey, you know what? It breaks my heart to have to do this. And I knew her well enough to know that when I walked out the house that day, I knew friendship was over. Friendship was over. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. Yes, I did. I packed my stuff and I put my stuff in storage and I left. I haven't said a word about it since. So, because bottom line, that whole situation broke my heart. But I also knew then that I had a lot of work to do. But I realized when that situation ended, I knew I was going to lose the car. No matter how hard I worked, I knew the car was going to be gone. It was just it was inevitable, and it was hard for me to try to accept it, because I'm like, I got to do what I can to keep this vehicle, because it was a wonderful opportunity that was extended to me. It was not about the money. It was not about the money. With me, it's never about the money. It's ultimately, at the end of the day, it was simply about respect. And I was basically being disrespected, I was being bullied, and I was being verbally abused. And when I look at it, I'm like, you know what? it was just words and whatever, but it was just no, it was the whole energy behind the whole deal. Everything was my fault. There was absolutely nothing I could do. So no, you know, the funny thing is, when I told my mom about it, when I told my mom about it, she was the first person I called, and I told my mom about it, and she said it was about time, and I was shocked. And she said, "Well, Cynthia was just a user," and I'm like, "What? Are you joking?" I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. At the end of the day, because I knew Cynthia for 28 years or so like that. Cynthia was one of my very best friends. You know, we all have our flaws and all like that, but I never once felt used, taken advantage of, um, you know, by Cynthia. She gave me an opportunity that nobody else would, and you know, took advantage of it as best as I could. But it came at a price that I was no longer willing to pay, because I felt that that element of it was simply unfair. And I'm like, okay, fine. Since I'm causing you, I'm the kind of person like this. If I'm causing you problems, and if you're telling me that I'm causing you a lot of problems all the time, okay, we can fix that right now. I'm out the door. No problem. Well, we don't have to argue about it anymore. We don't have to get into fights and complain, and you causing me problems. You messing with my money. You dumb, you stupid, you this, you that. Okay, fine, no problem. Goodbye. Have a good one. So that was that. As far as forgiveness, I've done that already. I've already forgiven her, and I've moved on. But I know this well enough to know, moving forward, it's for the best that we're no longer in communication with each other. You know, when I get the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's and um, from Wendy's and from Popeyes, I'll let you know. I'll tell you this: the the Wendy's sandwich, believe it or not, the Wendy's sandwich, it met expectations. It tasted exactly the way I hoped it would. It was ideal in every way. The bacon was perfect. It popped out. The chicken was great because it was grilled. The lettuce was nice and firm, and it had great taste to it. Lettuce of all things. It was only iceberg lettuce, but it was a nice big slice, and it was the right size. The tomato was nice and juicy and flavorful. The cheese was there, the sauce was there, the bun was there. It was a great sandwich. It tasted exactly the way I expected it to. The Popeyes chicken, however, it was a taste that completely shocked me, because I was not expecting that from Popeyes. The expectation was very high, and I'm like, maybe something was preset in it or something. Mind you, I did not see any of the videos before. I didn't know it was that big of a deal on the internet. I really didn't. I didn't see any of the videos. All I heard from a couple of people is, hey man, you know, the internet is blowing up this sandwich at Popeyes. I'm like, sandwich at Popeyes? What are you talking about? I thought Popeyes always had a sandwich. I never made a big fuss about it. And so I went to get the sandwich because I really didn't think anything special of it. But then when I went to the restaurant, I saw all those people there, and everybody wanted the sandwich, and that was it. I'm like, okay, this is different. Maybe I need to make a video because people are saying it's on the internet. Let me throw in my 2 cents to talk to, you know, my people, see what they think about it. And I'm like, even my own reaction to it, when I think back on it, it surprised even me. I'm like, wait a second. This is, like, for example, when I took the sandwich out and I smelled the sandwich, and I'm like, wait a second, this is no, this is not a chicken sandwich I'm expecting, because it was way better than it's. So, but see, the Wendy's sandwich, as good as it was, it just didn't do it like that for me. But it was a great sandwich. I will say this about the Wendy's sandwich. The Wendy's sandwich is a sandwich I'll buy every day. The Popeye sandwich is a sandwich I'll buy for special events, because I want a special occasion, because I want something very special with it. Like, I'll tell you this. There is this burger in Santa Barbara. They only serve it on Thursday. And in order for me to get the burger, I have to drive 90 miles to get the burger on Thursday. And that burger is so good, it's worth the drive. Moving in with my mother is not an option. And quite frankly, I'm gonna tell you something. I personally don't feel I need to move in with my mom. And I really don't want to live with my mom. I love her, but no. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why moving in with her is not an option. It's for two reasons. When I hit 40 and I came back home from Atlanta, I told my mom I had a 5-year plan being at home with her. My plan was to move back in with her, get a part-time job, go back to school, and get my degree, to get a bachelor's degree. Get a bachelor's degree. So I could get a better job with a degree. About a year after I moved back in was when I got the job with Metro. So the plan was for me to drive for Metro, remain with them part-time while I went and got my degree. First, I got my 2-year associate's degree, and then got my 4-year bachelor degree. After I got my 2-year associate degree, I would eventually promote to being a supervisor at Metro. And then after I was a supervisor at Metro, because I'd be on a stable schedule for 3 years, because they only switch schedules once every 3 years as supervisor, whereas a bus operator switched schedules once every 6 months. So while I was a supervisor at Metro, I would go and get my bachelor's degree and also my master's degree in either transportation, urban planning, business, one of those degrees, so I could eventually become a manager at the division. And I figure, hey, I will be fine. But the key was, I didn't want to move out of my mom's house until I became a supervisor. Well, one day, Mom had a car accident, and the car accident was her fault. And there was a very real chance that she was going to be sued, and she had the potential to lose everything. My mom's house is paid for, she has no bills, fabulous credit, the whole 9 yards. She was just a lawsuit waiting to happen. And so we did a review of her insurance and found out that she was severely underinsured. So I told Mom about an umbrella policy. I said, hey Mom, you need an umbrella policy. What's that? It's a policy that will save you money but give you $1 million worth of coverage on your car and your house. So if anything happens, everything is protected. So she dropped her policies with State Farm and went with AAA. They saved her a ton of money. Everything was perfect except for one little problem. I had to move out. And so, every so often, mom would drop little nuggets and saying, "Hey, are you thinking about moving out?" And "Hey, I see this place available for rent." And I'm like, if I moved out, I would have had to go full time with Metro. Going full time with Metro meant my schedule would change all over the place. Changing all over the place meant I could no longer go to school, because I tried the online stuff and I don't do well online. I have to go to the class. I have to be there in person and participate in class and be accountable for being there in school. Being online, I won't do it. I tried it and I'm telling you, I won't do it. But going to class, I'll do that. But that was impossible to do because I had to go full time to be able to afford a replacement car, because I was driving an old car at the time, and to be able to pay for the apartment. So a former co-worker set me up with a good friend of his that just so happened to have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment available. The place was perfect. It was just renovated. The place was completely redone, brand new carpet, and it was ideally situated in the city. Had a parking stall, so I always had to have my own parking spot to go to. It was only 4 units. Everybody was cool. It was awesome. The only problem at the place was during New Year's Day, the next door neighbors would blast music at incredibly loud levels. When I say incredibly loud levels, I mean, imagine the loudest nightclub you've ever been to and double the noise. And they had their speakers pointed right at my bedroom window. And on New Year's Day, it was torture in that place. Other than that, the place was perfect. So he set me up with the apartment, and I had to let go of the dream of going back to school because I wanted to be a manager. I'm like, well, I have to let that go, and I just have to, commit myself to being a great bus operator and make the money that way, because I won't be able to go to school unless I do something else totally different. About 2 weeks after I moved into the apartment was when I lost my job for the first time. And Metro actually fired me in error. They blamed me for a mechanical defect on the bus. They hired me back within 8 weeks, and they in their way apologized and made amends for the termination. But the financial damage was done, and the relationship between me and my landlord was over with at that point. My landlord hated me every moment, and it was difficult living in that apartment, and I ultimately had to leave, give up the apartment. But you ask me if going back to my mom's house is an option. It's not an option for 2 reasons. Number one, I can't go back, specifically written so that she is the only one covered under her liability umbrella policy. That's how AAA has it. That's how the insurance policy was sold to her. Secondly, after I moved out, mom basically took the whole house and converted it so that essentially the house is just for her. There really is no space for me in the house anymore. The bathroom is now hers. Two bathrooms in the house, her master bathroom and the one in the main house, and both of them are for her. My old bedroom is now a closet. She blew out a wall and turned it into her master closet. The bedroom I had when I was a kid, that's now the office/computer room. And then my sister's old room, that's now the spare bedroom, but that's now a storage spot. She puts all her bottled water in there now, and a bunch of other knickknacks and stuff. And she's not going to turn her life around to bring me back in her house. Besides, I love my mom, but I don't want to live with her. Same thing for my dad. My dad, now his house is different. His house is a pigsty, and his wife is not exactly the most friendly person in the world, and I'm the only person that gets along with her. Living with my father is not an option whatsoever. Believe me when I tell you, I have no problems with this truck because I'm doing better than that. I tried staying with my sister, but I was wrapped up with a private client for a month, and I made the mistake of not communicating things with my sister. And so my sister and my brother-in-law, they threw my things out. My brother-in-law, he and I just don't get along. I was in the hospital. My sister was there. I forgave her. And I asked her, I said, look, I really want to talk to Ricky so we can have a heart-to-heart, man-to-man. So, hey, we can patch up things and we can just move on and be cool with it. And I said, hey, I'd really appreciate it if, he would come to the hospital or, congratulations, man. Good work. I got to talk to you about that. I can't wait to hear about that. But ultimately, they threw my things away. They threw my things away. And staying with them is not an option. I tried staying with a buddy of mine in Corona, but I don't think his wife was comfortable with the idea. Tried to stay with another friend in Lancaster. I don't think his wife was too comfortable with the idea. I have a buddy in Menifee who would probably rent the place to me, but he lives in Menifee. And when I consider the amount of money I'm already spending for gas now, and I have to add that to the cost of gas to get back and forth to Menifee and back, it's just too expensive. If I had a more fuel efficient vehicle, it would be no problem. But and then also the thing is, my sleeping habits have changed. I used to be the one that could, no problem, 4 a.m. to midnight, it's a done deal. But I'm not able to push myself like that anymore. So no. The situation with Cynthia, the way that was supposed to work was we were supposed to stay in that house together for a year. November, her plan is to move out the house and move to Playa Vista. And me, I was supposed to stay in the house and continue on in the house by myself. But that plan did not work out. That's the main reason why I moved in, because that was the plan put together to do the whole deal. But I'm not there anymore, so all of that is gone. So, and then there was a brief opportunity I had with someone else, and that did not work out. I cannot believe 48 minutes have already passed. Wow. So I've been doing this live stream all day. Wow. Anyway, living with somebody, at the end of the day, a roommate, I'm really not open to the I'm not open to the option. It sounds great, but then when I think of all of my past experiences I've had with it, and trying to make it work out and all like that, I'm like, no. So what do? I crash when I can in this truck essentially between 12 and 6, between 12 and 7 is when I'm asleep. Every once in a while, I get a Motel 6. If I have the extra money for a Motel 6, I'll get a Motel 6. And I'll usually do that now on Tuesday. I'll rent a Motel 6 for Tuesday and Wednesday because I know when I go there, I'll have a nice room. Um, Let me see. I have a nice room. I have Wi-Fi, comfortable place to sleep for a day and a half. It'll be fine. But the reason why I'm considering leaving California is because I cannot afford to spend cash to buy a house for cash. Um, so I'm like, you know what? I want to go to a place that will allow me to buy a basic place for like $15,000. Cure the number one problem I have, and that is the monthly obligation of paying rent. So that's what I'll do. And I will rebuild myself that way. Because right now, I can't afford a house, much less rent in California. Can't do it. But I move somewhere else. I get the best house I can for $15,000. I figure like this. Between this day and January 1st, I should be able to have $15,000 cash saved up. I hope to have that much money saved up. By the time happens, in addition to having that cash saved up, I'll get a cheap Yukon or a cheap Suburban or just a cheap car, and I'll drive it to wherever and start over again, and I'll do my stuff on the internet. And go from there. I will be fine. I know it. That's why I'm cool with this. I'm cool. Get a Ford Edge. Tony, you're the man. I can't wait to talk to you about your new job with Ford. I think that's exciting. South Dakota, I have to look at that for South Dakota. Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas sounds good. Illinois. It'll put me in close proximity to Chicago, working there. But I'm gonna tell you this: I move away from California. I'm not gonna do rideshare. I'll be doing something totally different. You know, I've thought about getting into house sitting. The only problem with house sitting is unless I feel I can find someone who wants me to do house sitting for about a year, I don't think that really worked for me that much. So, I don't think it will. Yeah, that is what's going on, Jeremy. A lot of people are leaving California and going to many places in the South. The day is going all right, Dewey. I just finished eating a Wendy's chicken sandwich. It was pretty good. We need a wall around California. That would be fascinating if that happened. I doubt it would, but hey. Have you thought about a small trailer? Um, I have thought about a small trailer. The problem is where to put it without someone trying to steal it or take the stuff inside of it. You know, I thought about buying some land for about $2,500 and making that happen. But you know what? Right now, the way my mode of living is, I don't want to accumulate anything. Right now, everything that I have is reduced to a small gym bag, a small suitcase, and a larger suitcase at my mom's house in the garage. That's it. Everything else is gone. All of my clothes, my ties, my dress pants, my dress shirts, various papers that I had, you know, but even then other stuff, you know, my bed, desk, chair. At the end of the day, I have what I absolutely need with me right now, which is 2 full sets of clothes, plus 2 more shirts, t-shirts, briefs, and socks. 1 pair of shoes, which is what I'm wearing right now. I have my laptop computer. I have all my cell phones. All the personal hygiene stuff I need. Detergent to wash the clothes at any laundromat. Fabric softener. My bank accounts, I got a lot of them, but they got no money in them. But you know, but I have access to them on my cell phone. Limo Man 1, black car service. Huh. What's up, my guy? Long time, man. What's good? You tried affiliate with all local limo companies out there in LA. How was trip? I think you changed your name, man. Are you out in where are you located? North Carolina, I think you're at. No, I haven't tried to affiliate with the local limo companies out here. I'm actually pulling away from that. I'm actually winding down this thing that I call rideshare, because I had to face the reality that I am simply not going to. I will not meet my goals doing rideshare. I won't even meet my goals with transportation in general. I'm doing what I can just to keep things going right now. You know, make the payments on the car, on the truck, keep the gas going, keep food so I can keep money for food and keep myself clean, and you know, keeping my morale up or so like that. But no, this is changing in January. I'm going through what I need to do, and you know, once this thing with Assembly Bill 5 passes and we knows exactly what's happening with that, then I'll be in a better position to make a stronger choice. But rideshare, no, it's not that. So no, I'm still going to be friendly, still be professional, and it's something I still enjoy doing. But the reality is, no matter what I've tried to do, I just simply don't make enough money. I need too much money to overcome um, the fact that I need to get an apartment or a place to live. And then once I get into the place, then I need to be able to consistently generate the money to keep the place. And I don't think I'll be able to keep an apartment once I get it. Um, so that's that. All right, let's see here. What's going on? Hello, bro. New Uber driver from Montreal and asking for your advice, especially. Oh, half. Hey, what's up there? How you doing? Have fun a team. I think that's how you say your name. Um, Let me see. Oh, you're in San Francisco Bay. Okay. Um, I'm much more of a fan of the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Hey, Kevin, what's up, man? I saw your interview with Ta. It was a good interview. There were a few questions I wish you had asked, but hey, it's understandable. You get to go there. Let me see. Romeo, you're asking me how was trip? You'd have to ask me a little bit more on what you're talking about there. Have fun a team. I I don't know anything about Montreal, so I obviously could not give you any specific information about that. Obviously, hey, James from James in Chicago. What's going on, James in Chicago? Um, so this is what I'll tell you, and this is what I'll tell you. What I do in Los Angeles, and this is a strategy that I follow, and it's very important that you understand the perspective of where I'm coming from. I'm very reluctant to really talk about um, earnings, money, all that kind of stuff, because I haven't met my goals with rideshare. I've tried for the last 3.5 years to do that, and I've had a great experience with it. And rideshare is the reason why I'm even on YouTube right now. If it weren't for rideshare, I would be completely irrelevant. I'll tell you that right now. If it were not for rideshare, I would not be a relevant person on YouTube. It's because of rideshare that I will be able, I hope, to transition to something else on YouTube and be successful there because I'm comfortable with the medium. That said, in Los Angeles, and when you're dealing with rideshare, Montreal is a major city in the world. And in that city, I'm quite certain that you're dealing with a lot of tourists. The difference between dealing with X and XL is with X, that's what people want. But with XL, that's what people need. And when you look at what people need in the face of transportation, they're going to pay more for it. They're going to pay for the service because they need it. It's not an option. In my experience, with XL, you're going to have three types of people that are going to summon an XL. Number one is the obvious, people that need space for more than 4 people. They need space for 5 and 6 people. And they'd rather do it with one vehicle together than with 2 separate X's. So you're going to have those people. Second, you're going to have the customer who simply wants a guaranteed comfortable ride. With an XL, you're only going to get one of 2 vehicles, a SUV or a minivan. And both of them have the extra space that you want, like you said, in a Sienna minivan, Odyssey, a Dodge Caravan, a Suburban, Yukon, Escalade. They all have more space than any of the cars that are out there. And when you look at the price you pay for it, it's really not that much more. You're going to find people who would probably order a Uber Black. They'll step down to an XL because they want a more comfortable ride. And you'll get customers, it's just them by themselves. And they say, oh, I ordered XLs. I want a bigger ride, and it's still an affordable trip. The third customer is going to be the one who needs to move a relatively large item, and physically they must have the large vehicle. So they'll do that. The Metris is not a qualifying vehicle in California, so I don't say anything about the Metris. If you can have the Metris on XL, great, but out here in California, you can't use the Metris. And the reason why you can't use the Metris in California is because Uber, in their terms of service, they have a specific statement. Your vehicle, you cannot have more than 6 people in the vehicle. And I believe the reason why is because it's due to insurance, for insurance purposes. That's the only logical reason why, because you have SUVs that can hold 7 people in the back. But they tell you under no circumstances, and this is in the terms of service, that you're not supposed to have more than 6 people, more than 6 riders in the vehicle. It has to. And I think the reason why is because when you have 6 people and then you have the 7th person, I know in California, when you have 7 or fewer, the insurance is different. But when you have 8 or more, everything for the insurance changes. And you have a vehicle at that point where you're at the capacity of 7 total people in the vehicle, if that makes sense. What you want to do as an XL rider is you want to make sure that you are in places that's in close proximity to where lots of people will congregate together as groups. In LA, the area that I work, no, it's not about the seatbelts. The vehicle will have the seatbelts. Because I could get a Suburban with 7 seats, but the terms of service forbid you for having more than 7 people, more than 6 riders. Even on the app, when you look, it tells you 4 people, XL, 6 riders. There's no option for 7 people. So you have to wonder, why are they giving you a limitation on 6 riders when you have vehicles that can seat 7? Or even, like, for example, if you get a Suburban LS, you can put 8 people. You can put a total of 9 people in, 3 rows across. Well, when I go to the California Public Utilities Commission, if you have a vehicle with 7 or fewer people, including the driver, you only need $750,000 worth of liability coverage. But if you have 8 or more people, including the driver, in the vehicle, you are required by law to have $1 million of liability coverage. Now, here is the interesting caveat. Uber is saying that you're covered for up to $1 million of liability coverage with their policy. Same as Lyft, same as Trip. They're all saying the same thing. But each one of these companies are telling you in the terms of service that as a driver, you can have no more than 6 riders in the vehicle. The only reason that makes sense to me that they would put that kind of limitation is due to insurance purposes. There's disparity in each city and state and county regarding the number of people that can be had in a vehicle, and what the rules are, and they're very specific on this, and it has to be for insurance purposes. In other words, for the gentleman who's in Montreal, this is what you want to do. Find out where your hotels are. find out where your shopping areas are. Find out where your restaurants and your nightclubs are. Position yourself in those areas where you have lots of people, where there are groups of folk that are going to be together. Um, don't really spend a lot of time at the airport, because you'll be waiting there um, for rides that may not come your way, or they'll be very difficult to get. A lot of riders, a lot of drivers, they like to focus on the airport, because airport is where you get some of the safest, most predictable customers. You have people that got off the airport, off the airplane, they are tired, they're sleepy, they're not drunk. They're not going to want to beat you up. They want to go home. They just got off a 5-hour flight. They just flew across the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean. They don't even want to talk to you. They just want to go home. You load their luggage in, sit in the back, they recline, but waiting for those trips is sometimes frustrating. I work in an area on the west side between it's Highland Avenue, Sunset, Olympic, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And that's the honeypot. I call it the honeypot because I always get rides in that area. Tomorrow, I'm going to do great because it's going to be busy. It's going to be a hot weekend. It's the beginning of the unofficial 4-day weekend. Labor Day. I mean, come on, it's on. That's why I'm jerking off right now, because I know tomorrow I won't be able to do this. I'm turning off all my phones except for the one that's gonna put money in my pocket, and I'm gonna be cracking the whip the whole time. I'll make sure I'm well rested. That's why I'm doing this and sitting back and doing it, because between now and Monday 12 noon, y'all won't be able to reach me. I'm working. Figure get it out, get all this fun and joy out of my system now, but you know what, it'll be worth it, because when I get paid on Monday afternoon, everything will be where I need it to be. In spite of losing everything again, the fact of the matter is everybody will be happy on Monday. Yeah, I'm sorry it took me so long to deliver it to you, because I got a bunch of questions coming through. One thing about XL is you're going to have a lot of fun with XL. You're going to meet, when you have 5 and 6 people together, they're going to want to listen to music. They're going to have lots of conversation. They're going to be very friendly towards you. You'll have a wonderful time. You'll meet great people when they're groups of folk together. So be ready for people that are chatty and enjoyable or fun. But then again, you might have some crowds that will completely ignore you. They won't say anything or whatnot or so. But of all the categories, when you think of rideshare and the fun of rideshare, XL is the category that defines it, because everyone has space to do their thing. I only do XL and above. I don't do the regular trips anymore, because they simply don't pay enough. Also, keep this in mind, and in your case, I believe you use kilometers. So should you keep your app on XL or both? Just XL. But I would say this: if you're a brand new driver and you have XL, you need to do the X rides as well too, because you need the experience so you can understand the difference between X and XL. I would not be where I am today as a driver if it weren't for the standard X rides, if it weren't for the standard lift trips, because you need those basic trips to understand the different people that are involved. But if that's something you're concerned about, then I would say just stick to XL, because the one thing about XL you'll learn is look at it for how much money you make per 1,000 kilometers. I'm saying kilometers because you're in Canada, so I have to be respectful of your conversion. So if you're making like for example in Canada, what is your current rate in Canada? so I can get an idea. Because see, here in LA, I make $1.16 a mile. So for every 1,000 miles, 1,000 passenger miles I drive, I make $1,160. I figure, okay, I look at my odometer, and my revenue is always ahead of what my trip odometer says, no matter how many miles I put on. If I made if I drove 200 miles, I usually make about $250. That's just how it works out. I don't feel like I'm losing every time I drive the vehicle, because the mileage is always less than what the money is. So, okay, journey with Jordan. I did a 20-minute trip with 4 people once. None of them said a single word the whole time until the end. They all said thank you and got out. Interesting. You get rides like that all the time. I do. You get in the you pull up to the house or wherever they're at. You say, hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm great. And then one of the things I like about XL is you're always moving on XL. See, with X, you just pull up, they get in the car and they go. But with XL, they tend to have stuff with them. They have luggage or whatnot. And so that gives me an opportunity to get out of the vehicle and always move. And I like that about XL. I'm not sitting around all the time. You load luggage in and move stuff. But then, you finish packing up everything, you go in and said, okay, so, your name is Joe and you're going to LAX Terminal 4. Okay, great. And you put the car in drive and you move, and then nothing until you get to the airport. And then, okay, wow, we're here. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And poof, that's it. You've done. You're going to get rides like that all the time. That's how it is. Do not force conversation. I've learned to let the last word be the last word. If the customer, when the customer gets in the car, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I confirm their name, I confirm their destination, and I don't say another word to them unless they speak to me. If they say something to me, then I'll respond back to them. And if it's a cordial back and forth that happens, then you have a conversation. But if not, I'm like, okay, great. I'm not gonna force. You don't want to push conversation on anyone. I don't ask anyone personal questions. Questions they like to ask me. So, are you single? Are you married? Do you have kids? Where do you live? I don't like answering those questions that customers ask me. It's weird, but I have the conversation with them anyway. But I don't like the questions. See, it's okay for them to ask me the question, but I'm not going to ask them that question. So, are you married? Are you single? Where are you visiting from? What do you do for a living? No, you don't. I don't. Information not important to me. So. I didn't see that video. He said about filing a claim for lost wages with Uber. Personally, I'm not feeling that. I'm really not. On what basis do you have to file a claim for lost wages? That's what I'm trying to figure. Because we all, in the current state of things right now, at least in the state of California, we signed an agreement stating that we're independent contractors, but we are okay with the rates and what it is that they're charging, that they're charging the customers, and we're being compensated for it. My thing about rideshare and all like this is, look, at the end, I'm the person that believes that whatever side of this thing you're on with rideshare, a driver, a rider, the company, or so like that, the problem is everyone wants to make their cake and eat it too. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. Um, in the case of Uber, Uber wants to say wants to say that we're independent contractors, but what they want to do is they want to control the drivers, their employees, and pay them sawdust for income, for money. They want to use the drivers to make sure that they get their booking fees. See, Uber Comfort, that's just a way for the company to make more money on booking fees. If you notice, the booking fee for everything else is $2.55. But for Uber Comfort, the booking fee is $2.90 or $2.95. They're making more money on Uber Comfort at the expense of the driver. Uber Comfort is not for the customers. Uber Comfort is for Uber. It's just dressed up to look like it's for the customers. And what they've done is they've made it a sneaky way to get these Uber black drivers and the Uber SUV black drivers and select drivers on board with them as well now, because what's going to happen is this: you're going to see all these customers ordering all these Uber Comforts, and now all of a sudden they're getting Navigators, Escalades, Suburbans, BMWs, picking them up, when before they were dealing with Camrys and Accords. And then what they do is, when the drivers decline those ride requests because they're not making enough money, they penalize the drivers for declining these ride requests. So they want you to think that you're an independent contractor, but they want to still run you as an employee. Flip that around to the employee, to the workers. The workers are saying, "Oh, we're going to file a claim for lost wages," but wait a second, how can you file a claim for lost wages and you want to be an employee? As an independent contractor, we agreed that 64 cents a mile is okay. As a contractor, we agreed that 22.4 cents a minute is okay. As a contractor, we agreed that 25% commission on the mileage, the time, and those things are okay. So if the rides aren't out there when we think they are, how can we make a claim for lost wages? I don't see it personally. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't understand. It sounds great, and then at the end of the day, who's really going to get paid? The people that are going to get paid are the attorneys. There's going to be millions of dollars in fees that will be spent on this thing. They're going to get 45% of it, and what will the drivers get? They'll get a check for $20. So, and remember, Kevin the entrepreneur reported that Uber has $6.1 billion sitting overseas. So, to me, it's like, oh well. I'm going to answer your question about the rates on Uber Comfort in just a second. There was another question I wanted to ask. Yeah, Michael Sampson, I got you. You asked for the pay rate on Uber Comfort. I'm going to get that for you accurately in just a second. I've known for a little while. Hope you're getting the love and support I deserve. Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine, Rob. I'm doing all right. Love and support I deserve, I'm getting it right here with me. I'm doing all right. And, I got 37 people watching me right now babble on about nothing. So I'm doing cool, man. One driver got around $5,000 for around 5,000 trips. Okay. Uber needs to change the rating system. I'm getting lots of tips. Yeah, but I talked about the rating system being changed for a long time. Personally, I believe The rating system should only be thumbs up, thumbs down. That's it. Um, for people to give you 1-star rating because they don't like the color of your car, they don't like the way you dressed, um, they preferred a Cadillac Escalade, but you brought a Chevy Suburban instead. Um, they, you said that they could not smoke and vape in your car. Um, any number of things that customers will give you unfair low ratings for. The rating system should be one criteria and one criteria only. Would you ride with this driver again? Yes or no? You will or you won't. If you won't ride with that driver, yes, we're alive. If you are, if you will ride with this rider again, great. If the opportunity comes, you get changed. If you won't, you will never worry about seeing this rider again, and vice versa. That's the same thing. The rating system was one of the things that I really wanted to. The rating system was one of the things that I really want to work with on Trip. See, one of the things about Trip is I'm looking at it like this. Trip is a brand new company. You have unprecedented access to the CEO and to the executive team because right now the company is little. They don't have 50,000 employees like Uber does. You don't have a clear direct path to communication with the CEO. You can talk to the CEO and you can say, look, these are the things that the drivers are looking for that they wish that they could have with Uber, and they're not getting it with Uber. And we hope that you give it to us. We want you to give these things to us. We need you to give these things to us. We want a fair rating system. The only fair rating system I see is thumbs up, thumbs down. That's it. I don't 5 stars is not fair. It is not fair. I'm sorry. It is not. And I will never see it as a fair system. But asking you just one simple question, that is fair because it is objective. Um, but everyone still wants to stick with this 5-star thing and keep it at, you have to maintain this level and all like that. Fingerprinting the drivers. We can start no, but you have to understand with 5-star, I mean, it's great if it defaults to a 5-star system if the customer doesn't rate you. But here is the thing with the 5-star system that really gets it. What is the real material difference? Hey, Vinny, what's up? What is the real material difference between a 3-star ride, a 4-star ride, and a 5-star ride? There is too much subjective guessing on who someone thinks a 5-star is versus a 3-star. For example, 3 stars is an average ride. You have a person that gets in the car, you drive them to the place they need to go, and that's it. There's nothing special about that. That ride does not deserve 5 stars, but we're giving them 5 stars all the time for nothing. Okay? Then you have a customer that gives you great conversation, everything is cool, everything is wonderful, but they don't give you a tip. Some drivers, they have already told you the only way they're going to give a customer 5 stars is if they receive a good tip. But what if you have a customer that gets in your car and that customer is vaping, they are cussing you out, they smell like they haven't bathed in a week, they are hanging out the window screaming and hollering at everyone you see down the street, they are attracting unnecessary attention to you and the vehicle, they are sexually harassing you, and mind you, all of this is happening in one trip with the same person, and then when everything is said and done, they give you a $20 tip. That person treated you like crap but they bought their 5-star rating. How do you manage that? Okay, yeah, they gave you $20, but are you really going to give that person 5 stars? And so that's where when you have a simple system of thumbs up, thumbs down, it clears all that stuff out. You know, if you get a person who gets in your car and move your seat all the way forward, and you're already bringing them a luxury car with plenty of space in the back seat, and they get mad at you about that. It's like, something's, what? So that's the thing. Yeah. But I elaborate a little bit more so you can see what I'm talking about. Algorithms, things have been set up electronically to put the 5-star with 5-star customers. Using 5-star will be forever. No, the 5-star doesn't have to be forever. You know, we could, you have a new company and you could say, hey, this isn't that. But see, you know what? It comes down to like this. There are some fights that unfortunately, you will never win. I mean, I could say, look, if I were building a rideshare company, there would be no such thing as 5 stars with me. There would be thumbs up, thumbs down. And why? Because I'm the boss and I can make it that way. And that's what I would do. And people would see the benefits of that. See, here's the thing. Uber Eats uses thumbs up, thumbs down. It's very simple. Either you like this driver and what they did for you, or you don't. Because the interaction is minimal. So the drivers judge accordingly for that. And I like the Uber Eats rating system. Anyway, another thing, the fingerprinting. Fingerprint the drivers, we can pick up these minors. That way it's no problem. Look, I'm fingerprinted by the Department of Justice. They know who I am. Clear has my retina scan and my fingerprints. I'm very well identified on multiple databases. So, if someone gets in the car and they present themselves as a reasonably responsible person, I've met plenty of responsible 13-year-olds when I was a bus operator for Metro. They got on board the bus, they made sure their fare was paid, they sat down, they were respectful for everybody on the bus, including myself. They followed instructions if necessary, no problems, no issues. I've met plenty of responsible 15, 16, and 17-year-olds, and I had to turn them down because I'm saying I'm sorry. But you know what? Rideshare, we are not authorized by law to pick you up. I am not jeopardizing my business, my livelihood, my freedom to give you a ride down the street. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. The answer is no. I'm not your driver. I had this one little girl cuss me out because I wouldn't pick her up. And that's the reason why you're not going to get picked up. Because of your behavior right there. There were a few times where I declined to pick up somebody. They were very understanding, very respectful. And because of that, I said, you know what? Because of the way you treated me, I'm going to make an exception. And I'm going to take you where you need to go. And I did. Because they were respectful. And they knew how to treat people the right way. And I did that because ultimately I consider the fact that I am identified, I am fingerprinted, and I made the unilateral decision to disregard what the law said because, let's face it, I'm in a vehicle with a TCP. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I can do this. So in those rare instances where I felt it was necessary, I did it. But I don't like it at all. So, but I turned it down in a second. I had to do it last night. I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do it. And whatever reason I gotta give them in the phone, if they don't want to cancel it, fine. I'll do it for them. And I'll just take the hit and I'll keep it pushing, because you know what? It's all BS to me. The cancellation rate and acceptance rate and you know, Uber Gold and trying to convince me. No, just pay me my $1.16 and my 30 something cents a minute, and we good. I don't need to be an Uber Gold driver. You know, my days of trying to 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 be cool with all that stuff is over. It is over. It really is. So let me answer the question regarding Uber Comfort, because someone had asked me the question, what are the rates for Uber Comfort? So I have to look it up in this other phone because I don't have it available on that phone. Oh man, I had the app. Where is that? Oh, that's why it's getting so crazy. Labor Day. Ooh, it's going to be a good day tomorrow. People, I'm going to make $500 tomorrow. I am certain of it. I'm going to be ready for it. Look at all these cars around here right now. Okay, so Uber Comfort. Okay, like for example, where I am right now, I'm in Hawthorne right now, and I have my home location set as LAX. So right now, an Uber X is $22.85, but to get a Uber Comfort is $27.88. You're paying just $5 more to get a Uber Comfort. Did you get the sandwich, Michael Ryan? Were you able to get it? Because they say it's sold out around the country. Okay, so here's the deal with Uber X. Let me see. Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay, sorry about that. I got a text message here. The booking fee for Uber Comfort, first of all, the base fare is $0. I'm sorry, this is for Uber X. Uber X. Uber X. Uber X. Uber X. Base fare is $0. Booking fee is $2.30. The minimum fare is $5.80. The per mile rate charged to the customer is 80 cents. The per minute rate is 28 cents. There are no tolls, and estimated surcharges is $4.10. So there's no surge going on right now for that. Now let's look at the difference between that and Uber Comfort. For $5 more, a new car with extra leg room for just $5 more. The booking fee goes from the fee is $2.99 for the booking fee. This is more money going to Uber. $2.99. The minimum fare is $10. Per mile charge is 92 cents, and per minute is 38 cents. No tolls. Estimated charges are $4.10. See, here's the deal. What Uber Comfort does is Uber Comfort gives Uber more cars on the road at the Uber X price, but they're making more money with the booking fare, with the booking fee, because there is no booking fee for Uber Black SUV, and Uber Lux. There's no booking fees on those, because of how those arrangements are set up with the Uber Black limo companies. But what Uber is doing is Uber is imposing Uber Comfort They're imposing Uber Comfort on the Uber Black drivers. So they're making all these cars that are now currently not utilized, they're making them utilized on Uber Comfort. And they bumped up, I'm trying to stop saying all the time. They bumped up their utilization rate by getting more of these cars to pay a higher booking fee. I tell you, Uber is a very crafty company, people. They are very crafty. Very crafty. Got to give it to them. Selling Popeyes chicken on the black market. Okay. You know what, Darius? Wendy's is sold out here in LA too. I came here to Wendy's to get a crispy chicken sandwich. And the guy told me they're sold out of those patties. I'm like, what? Yeah, they're gone. I had to get a grilled chicken sandwich instead, which was really good. And I'm still working on this lemonade. And I'm gonna have to go to LAX in a minute because I'm gonna have to go to that porta potty. They are not crafty, they are crooks. Here's the deal. We can call them crooks all we want, but bottom line is this. We are willingly participating in their crookdom. As Jill Scott was saying, we are participating in their crookdom. So if they are crooks, we are helping them be crooks. So instead of saying they're crooks, we just simply say they're crafty. They are crafty. Because what they have done is they have created a system where if we try to rebel against it, we are punished for it. How are you punished for it? Each time you hit cancel, your cancellation rate goes up, your acceptance rate goes down. And what happens is, let's say you were an Uber Diamond or an Uber Platinum or an Uber Gold driver. You're jeopardizing those things now because you have to accept 85% or more of the rides. You can't let those rides go down. If you're an Uber Black driver, you're not getting that many rides to begin with anyway. And if you start canceling all these extra rides that come your way, I remember one time I was out here driving and I had like 5 Uber Comfort rides come through at one time. Uber Comfort. They all just coming through, I'm not trying to drive this truck for Uber Comfort rides. I'm trying to do Uber XL, Uber Select, Uber Lux, Uber Black. Why am I getting all these comfort rides? Because Uber Comfort, newer cars with more legroom for only $5 more. But who's really making the money? Uber is. Because for some reason, they're charging a higher booking fee on Uber Comfort than they're charging on Select or the others. Now, get this. They are paying $2.15 to the drivers because Uber Comfort, they're giving up the $2.15. And I found with me, as long as the trip was 25 minutes or less, I was making comparable money on Uber Comfort as I would on Uber XL. Once I got over 25 minutes, Comfort wasn't worth it. If y'all heard that, I'm so sorry. I know it came through amplified, and I apologize for that, because I know LVESQ, he despises whenever I eat food or things like that on my live streams. In fact, he went so far as to say that if I ate food on my live stream again, he would not watch my videos for a month. Okay, so if he was watching this particular live stream, I guess I lost him as a customer this month. These things happen. Okay, which one do you prefer, or should I say make more money? Which one do you prefer, or should I say which one do you make more money in a day? David Calhoun, what are you talking about? The first cancellation was a long pickup cancellation in Filbert XL. The next 3 feet quickly canceled. The fifth one, I called her and drove to pick her up and canceled to receive another $5. Well, if they canceled, that's nothing for you to worry about, man. If they cancel, let them cancel all they want. When you can't find work or need more money, they are using people that have no choice. Okay. How is comfort affecting black car? What have you noticed? You are for Uber and Black, they're taking away business from Uber Black, and they're taking away business from Uber Select. Uber Select is basically dead now at this point. Buying a car for Uber Select, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. There was a time where you could go out and you could say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go and get a car. Like, you could go and get a 2010 Mercedes E-Class, or you know, get an Acura RL, or a really nice sedan, or even a really cool crossover SUV, because you could do select trips. You could do those trips. It was no problem. Let me see. Uber. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking at vehicle requirements on Uber. Someone told me that Uber Select is now closed in California. It's not about getting select trips on XL. Comfort is not XL. It's about the vehicle meeting the criteria of what a comfort vehicle is. You have a vehicle that is a 2014 or newer. It has more legroom than a compact car, more interior space than a compact car. That means virtually everything on Uber Black X SUV, and Uber Lux qualifies as Uber Comfort. Almost everything on Uber Select qualifies as Uber Comfort. Why would if a customer is looking for a vehicle on Uber Comfort, why would you order a Select when you don't have to pay the extra money for Select anymore? The only reason why you're getting a vehicle on Select now is because it has leather seats and it's a luxury brand. But if you look at a Lexus ES350 and a Toyota Camry, structurally you have the same car. So you want something more comfortable? Okay, I'll spend less money and get the Camry. I don't need to spend the money on a Lexus anymore. I just get a Camry, I'm done with it. So getting a Lexus because you think that the customer wants a luxury branded car. Select was put there because people wanted a more comfortable vehicle, so they did Select. Then they downgraded to XL because they wanted a more comfortable vehicle because of XL. Now they're going to go even lower and get an Uber Comfort vehicle because they want a more comfortable car for less money. So let's see here. Vehicle options in Los Angeles: Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Select. And see, this is amazing. I never thought I would see this, and I'm looking at it for myself. Mid-tier luxury sedans command higher fares. See our list of eligible vehicle models, but in rare circumstances, other models may qualify. Model year 2009 or newer. Leather or vinyl interior with no tears. Seat at least 4 passengers in addition to the driver. Working windows and air conditioning. No full-size vans or trucks. No taxi cabs, government cars, or other marked vehicles. No salvage or rebuild cars. Vehicles must be registered and insured in the state of California. At this time, Uber is not accepting new select vehicles in Los Angeles. So you can go and get the car, but you're relegated to Uber X and Uber Comfort. Uber Black. They're telling you all this stuff here. At this time, Uber is not accepting new Uber Black vehicles in Los Angeles. Uber Black SUV. At this time, Uber is not accepting new black SUV vehicles in Los Angeles. Uber Lux. They're only accepting Uber Lux vehicles, but get this. Uber Lux, no one's ordering Uber Lux. The service Uber Lux, no one's on it anymore. It says here, Lux, only pristine high-end vehicles qualify to drive with Lux. Commercially licensed drivers may qualify to drive with the most exclusive service from Uber. Lux vehicles may be sedans. Additional requirements: commercial insurance, a TVP number, model year 2012 or newer, black exteriors in excellent condition, black leather or vinyl interiors with no tears, seats for at least 4 riders in addition to the driver. Vehicle must be registered and insured in the state of California. Then it has at the bottom here is Comfort. Comfort was designed to maximize possibilities on the Uber platform. Maintain eligibility in a different Uber options such as Uber X, Select, XL, Uber Black, or Uber Black SUV. Have a minimum star rating of 4.85 based on at least 250 trips. So you have to do 250 trips before you're given the privilege to do Uber's Comfort. Ooh, so special. Drive a vehicle with more legroom than smaller compact cars eligible for Uber X and that meet the minimum vehicle year requirement. See eligible vehicle models. So then you have your eligible vehicles for Uber Comfort. Okay. And I think I made a video about this before. They've even made adjustments to this since I last saw it. They've added some vehicles on here since. That's good. Like I see they added the Telluride on here. Where's Hyundai? Let's see if they did this. Well, they still didn't add the Palisade. They got the Telluride, but they didn't put the Palisade on here. They fixed the issue with the Genesis and then the Hyundai Genesis. Well, no, they didn't. The list is still stupid. Again, I'm tired of all this stuff. I really am. Goodness. Wow, Monday, September 2nd. This is going to be a good weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I will be energized to do this. It's exciting. It really is. Is the Nissan Kicks there for comfort? No, it's not. The Nissan Kicks is a subcompact vehicle. Peterson, as you know, I'm out of Denver. Been thinking lately about starting my TCP company. High demand for private drivers. How much money do you think I need to start with? Also needing a new car. As you know, I'm out of Denver. Been thinking lately about starting my TCP company. High demand for private drivers. How much money do you think I need to start? I don't know. I personally don't know, because I don't know the laws of Colorado, and it depends on what you want to do with your vehicle or so. But if you were going to start a brand new company with your own TCP and you were going to get your own car or so, with a new business, I would off the top of my head, the first number that comes in my mind is you would need 50 grand to pay for whatever fees are necessary for your TCP, to either incorporate or file a LLC, to acquire a vehicle, whether you pay cash for it or finance it, whether you to get insurance for it, whether you make monthly payments for it, or you pay it through the premium at a time for 1 year. If you're going to start your own company through your own TCP, you want to have a marketing budget so you can market your business, let people know who you are, the who, what, where, when, why, and how of your business. What else? And then just have the ongoing capital to keep your business going. To make sure you had fuel, and you had money to live off of while you built up your clientele and went from there. I would, off the top of my head, I would say to do it right with as little struggle as possible. You would need about 50 grand. I could be wrong. You might only need 30 grand to make it happen. But the biggest issue you're going to have is dealing with the vehicle, mainly fuel, paying for the gasoline. You got to deal with that. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, it is technically a subcompact SUV in Nissan Kicks, so it's not there for comfort. Horror movie. Where is Rob Mendez? Where is that horror movie convention at? Is it at LA Convention Center, or is it somewhere else? It's amazing. Mom did not value the life of her children, and they do not care if the driver goes to jail. If that child go through a windshield, it is a wrongful death suit on my hand. Yes, sir. Oh, it's the LA Convention Center. Are you going to drive for Trip? Yeah, when Trip becomes available somewhere, my intent is to drive for Trip. Now, I have no intent to recruit drivers. My intent is to recruit riders for Trip, but not drivers. And the reason why is because I really don't understand the MLM portion of it. When I start seeing points and volume and stuff like that, my mind turns to mush. Um, all I know is to build a network, you can only have 3 people on your top level, and then each level that goes down, you build. Each level is multiplies is multiples of 3. How low you can go, I don't know, but to get to the top rank, to have 24,000 drivers, I don't see myself having that. And so I'm like, no, I'm not even going to entertain that, because as much as I like network marketing, the reality with network marketing is I will fail, and I don't want to fail. And so for that aspect of it, I'm not even going to try. And I'm really not going to even say anything about it, because I really am not going to go there. It looks cool, it looks appealing, but the only thing I want to do is I want to refer riders. Why? Because riders will look and they will see they're getting a great deal when Uber is surging and Trip never surges. So if there's a surge, they'll go to Trip, they'll take a riding Trip, and when they take the Trip, I get 40 cents because I referred them to the service. My goal is 1,000 referrals. Because if you do 1,000 referrals in a week, if all those referrals take just 2 trips a day in a week, let me see. With 1,000 referrals in a week, looking at $4,000 a week in pay. So I'm like, you know what? That seems pretty cool to me. Hey, Rob. Thanks for hanging in with me. I appreciate it. I met Blair Witch Project Director at Roswell last year, and I'm in Lubbock. I'm going to bed. I have to watch you from now on. Hey, Rob, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. How much money did you make today so far? Andrew Yang, in Andrew Yang We Trust 2020. So far today, how much money have I made today so far? In order for me to do that, I would have to pause the live stream, and I don't want to do that. But let's see. There's no way for me to find it because the app is on there right now. But I've worked a little bit today. Today is a relaxed day for me. I don't work hard on Tuesdays and Wednesdays anymore. I used to, but not anymore. Tomorrow everything changes. Tomorrow is when I'll be busting my tail working. But today, no. Yesterday, no. But I think I made about $75 today. I did the one trip from here to from Van Nuys to LAX, and that trip was $45. So I did that, and then I had some money in my Lyft account, and that allowed me to get the food at Popeyes and the food here at Wendy's. So, but I think today, because I only did just that one trip just so I could have a quarter tank of gas in the car. You know, I'll do some more driving, and then tomorrow I'll start off and I'll do about $75 so I can get a full tank of gas, or actually I'll do $100 for a full tank of gas, and the rest of the time I'll be driving Uber. so I can do extremely well, catch up with everything. By the time Labor Day is done on Tuesday, I'm gonna be doing real good. So there we go. Yeah, let's see. I checked out the referrals on Trip website, but all I saw was credit towards rides. Maybe I looked at the wrong page. No. It's not credit towards rides. That's not what Trip is talking about. You probably look at the wrong page. No. Here's how Trip's referral service works. And this is why I like dealing with Trip so much, because I like how their referral service is. In order for you to participate in Trip in any capacity, you need to have a referral code. Your referral code is 100% free. You do not have to pay a dime for it. You don't have to become a driver. You don't have to become a influencer. You don't have to be a driver influencer. You can be an app user. An app user is free. The reason why the app user is free is because it is required by law. Whenever you have a component, whenever you deal with a network marketing organization, the Federal Trade Commission has deemed that you have to give people a free way, a no-cost way to make money with your opportunity. And so what Trip has done is they said, okay, great. You can become an app user. When you become an app user, you get a referral code. That referral code is free. And then what you do is you give your referral code to other people and you say, hey, there's a new rideshare service called Trip. If you're interested, use my code to sign up. And that person gets their referral code as well too. Each person that gives their referral code to a new rider, that new rider becomes their referral for life. And every time that person uses Trip, the referrer receives 40 cents. So let's say I give 10 people my referral code, and 10 of those people, 10 of the 10, they each take a ride on Trip. I just made $4. Okay, 40 cents times 10 is $4. Let's say each one of those people, they made 2 trips a day. It's $8 I've made in referrals. I like that about Trip because those people, they're doing what they're already going to do. They're using rideshare. But instead of going on Uber, instead of going on Lyft, they went to Trip. And as a result, I got paid 40 cents each time they rode on the Trip. Now, let's say those same 4 people, those same 10 people, they gave their referral codes to people. Well, I don't make any money off of that because there is no network marketing with the referral code part of riders. That's only on the driver's side. It works the exact same way as if you gave your Uber code to somebody. With Uber, you give someone your referral code, and when that person takes a trip on Uber, Uber will give you a $5 credit on your next trip. They'll give you $5. They'll give you $5 off, a $5 credit, whatever. But it's a one-time thing. You're not getting ongoing revenue from each time your rider takes a trip on Uber. You're just getting the $5 off, and that's it. But with Trip, if you have a person that uses rideshare 2 times a day, 4 times a day, 8 times a day, you're going to receive 20 cents every single time. 40 cents, 40 cents every single time they ride, and it will add up quickly. Okay, the reason why I stopped doing the food deliveries, it was actually for 3 primary reasons why I stopped doing food deliveries. first, I felt like a mouse I felt like a hamster in a spinning wheel over and over again. You're driving around, and the most you can ever hope to make on any given delivery was $6, maybe $7, and that's it. It's fairly easy to quantify. If you want to make $200, and you divide that by an average of $6 a delivery, you needed to do 34 deliveries a day. Do that, you got $200. It's fairly simple. The problem was, I liked how with rideshare, you could accomplish that with 2 trips. If you did a trip to Palm Springs, or did a trip to San Diego, or there was a satisfaction of doing a long trip and getting paid nicely for it that you would never be able to achieve with food deliveries. So that was the first thing, the hamster in the wheel feeling that I had. Secondly, there was a certain coldness that you had to deal with from the customers. You went through all the trouble, you got their food, you took it to them. Hey, good evening, how are you? Oh, I'm all right, great. Hey, thank you so much. Door slams in your face. When you do that a few times over and over and over and over again, it becomes where you lose something with your interaction with the people when you're so used to being in a space with people for an amount of time, riding with them, and now you don't have that with them anymore. So then the next thing really was at the end of dealing with the Uber Eats and DoorDash and all like that, for that matter. I just simply at the end of the day, I really just didn't like it. For some people it's great because for them it was okay. They you can quantify and say, okay, it's great, it's no problem to get 35, 40 trips a day and make it happen. On the one hand, it was way better than dealing with UberX, because you're not dealing with people like that. You can basically drive anything. You can listen to your music, and you can drive how you feel like it. But I don't know, there was a certain emptiness to it that I just it wasn't vibing with me anymore. Now, Uber Eats might be something that I would probably pick up again, and I think, considering that now you're only making $2.80 when you're doing a short trip, but you're driving a considerable distance, you could work it out. I never worked Uber Eats or delivery long enough to compare the two to determine definitively if it was a better way for me to make 200, 250 a day than not. And certainly with the delivery services, you can pull 34, 35 trips a day a lot easier than you could driving around people with food deliveries. Of the services, I liked Uber Eats the most, and the reason why was because most of the time Uber Eats, especially in Orange County, I didn't have to get out the car. The app told the customer that I was there. The customer came all the way out to the vehicle. I gave them the vehicle, the food from the vehicle. They went back in their house. With DoorDash and Postmates, I had to get out the vehicle. I had to go into the apartment complex and buzz doors and, go up the stairs and do all kinds of crazy stuff and worry about parking the car. Um, with Uber Eats, no, I could just pull right to the driveway. They came out, got the food. Hey, thank you. It's all right. Turn around, ran away. Put a tip in it, or gave me a tip on top of it. Um, with this truck, I'm not going to do it because the fuel is too much. It's way too expensive, so I'm not going to do it with this truck. It's capitalism where income doesn't start with zero. Huh. Okay. Where are you sleeping tonight, Peterson? Um, I have no clue right now, but it will be somewhere safe. I have multiple spots I go to. I have at least 15 different spots I go to, and I rotate all of these spots all the time. I usually don't hit a spot I go to more than twice a month. Um, and there's some other places that I go to maybe once every couple of months or so. I may find some new areas and go from there. But no, I rotate where I go every night. It's a different deal or so. But I will say this: um, I'm very thankful that wherever it is I go, um, God is protecting me, because I very easily could be knocked upside the head, carjacked, stabbed, killed. Um, any number of things could happen. But in that regard, I've been blessed, very blessed, and I'm thankful for it. That much I'm certain of. So there you go. Let's see. It starts with a handout that's been stolen from someone else. Oh my goodness. The referral code. My trip referral code. It's TRYP, and then it's ULAND, and the number 626. Let me see. I have another YouTube channel. It's called Win with Rideshare, like a winner. Win with Rideshare. And and in the description of that, when you go into the video, everything is there. Win with Rideshare. Yeah, George, I'm still streaming. You know me. I just love running my mouth. I do. Journey with Jordan. Wouldn't you fight someone that tried to carjack you, tried to run them over or something? Oh yeah, if someone tried to carjack me, someone's gonna get injured. Bottom line, I mean, I will do what it takes to stop the person. I have no problem pushing someone in the street, driving over them, running this truck into a tree, whatever it takes. I'm not one of those people just gonna lay down and let you stick me. It ain't gonna happen at all. So I'm a nice guy, but at the same time, I will protect myself to the utmost. That's just how it is. So, no, but you gotta remember, when I say carjack, think about it. I'm asleep, knocked out. You look in the vehicle, you see all my phones laid out, you see the keys in the ignition, my door is locked, but the only thing that's separating me from a person that wants to do something bad is a piece of glass. And I'm knocked out, completely asleep. And the time it takes for someone to bust this window, and to take one of these cables and strangle me or do something like that, by the time I figure out what's going on, it's over. So like I said, I'm thankful. I'm I appreciate that I know where to go to be safe, so that I'm okay. So I'm all right. At least I hope I'm okay. I've got the ultimate faith that everything will be all right. And if it's not okay, I just hope that it's over quickly and it's not painful. Because I am a realist as well too. I think it's against YouTube's terms of service to share how much you make. Hey Peterson, could you share with us how much YouTube pays you? Um, well, I'll tell you this. My expectation from my videos on YouTube is to get a penny per video. Um, I have not been able to figure out um, how much I'm paid per video, because I just don't know. Um, all I know is the threshold to get a payment from YouTube is $100. If you don't make at least $100 in revenue, you don't get a deposit. It rolls over to the next month. Um, but as far as how much per video, I haven't been able to figure it out. And I really don't worry about that at this point. The only thing I do is I have it programmed for me to receive, to play just one video at the beginning of the video. That's it. When you play, you hit after 3 seconds, it says you can skip the video, then it skips and it moves on, and you can play it. And that's all I look for. That's all I'm hoping for. You know, some people, they'll make videos that are intentionally longer than 10 minutes, because when you make a video that's 10 minutes or longer, then the system will automatically spread out 4 videos in your 4 ads in your video, unless you change the interval at which those ads play. Some users, they put videos at the beginning and at the end, so they get paid both ways on that. I don't do 2 videos on the end. So, you know, and then some channels are even more lucrative because they get better videos based on the content and their positioning in the marketplace. So it's all relative. It really is. But as far as like how much I really get paid, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know, because I haven't done a deep analysis like that. Okay. Is Trip coming to LA? The earliest Trip will come to Los Angeles, and this is just me thinking logically. I haven't received this from anyone at corporate, but based on how I understand Assembly Bill 5, the earliest Trip will come to the state of California is in January. And the reason why is because right now California is politically unstable when it comes to Assembly Bill 5, independent contractors, and the what. It's just not it's not feasible for them to come to the state right now, because we don't know what's going to happen with AB 5. If AB 5 becomes the law, Trip may not ever come to California, because it's simply going to be too expensive for them to do business by paying the drivers. But then again, they could come to California. They may say, hey, you know what? Since the company is new, and it's new, and it's this is all a startup, then they could say, okay, you know what? All drivers in California have to be employees, and they will structure how they're going to make that happen. But I don't know, because consider this: Trip was going to be headquartered in California, but now the company is officially headquartered in Las Vegas, Nevada. they have an office in California, because the original plan was to start the company in Orange County and then go from Orange County to LA and spread out. But they changed course because of Assembly, in part, I believe, because of Assembly Bill 5. Um, so who knows if they're going to come to California or not? I don't know. But logically, I wouldn't do it. I would wait until all this fallout from Assembly Bill 5 came and then figure out what happens. If anything, if Trip gets California, California will probably be the last state to get it. Everywhere else will have it first. And then by the time they get to California, the company will have the money necessary to deal with the losses. Not deal with the losses, but deal with the impact of making all the drivers employees. So we'll see. Let me see. I drive for Black Car with my MDX. I was told in order to get comfort rides, I would have to have the app on X, not XL, even though I have an XL. Is this true? Are we still in our beta test phase? If you want to get comfort rides, well, Darius, I think that would apply to your specific market where you are. Here in LA, I'm on Uber Black, and I don't do X trips on Uber Black. I do XL and above, and I get Uber Comfort trips on XL and above here in California. But in your market, it might be different. You may have to keep it on X to get comfort rides. Comfort isn't all that cracked up it is to be. You really don't need it. Just do your XL trips and you should be fine. Let me see. That's where our military training comes in, right on. Okay, is that only San Francisco? Do they have a safe park? No, they do not have safe park programs here in LA. Let me see. Do you think that perhaps you didn't give it enough time to see how you can maximize your profits? I've made real money with Grubhub in the Pasadena area. I've made over $200 for just a few trips. The one thing I like about Grubhub and DoorDash is they have great incentives. Like, for example, I can tell you with Postmates, DoorDash, I like them because they'll say, okay, if you do this number of trips, we'll give you an additional $70, something like that. And I have been able to do it. The money is there if you're willing to hustle it. And I think one thing I do appreciate about DoorDash and Grubhub and all those others is, unlike driving people around commercially, there is no hour limit on how long you can do deliveries. If you want to drive for 15 hours, you can drive for 15 hours. It's pretty cool. It's just doing all those trips where you only got $7, $8 a trip. You never really got more than $10 a trip. And then just dealing with the super short interaction with the people. It just didn't work with me at all. I didn't like it. So I like that you were able to get instant pay. That was cool. Oh goodness. All right, everybody. I'm gonna hang it up now. I need to I need to get some rest. I'm tired. Let me see. Hey, Juan Garcia, what's up, man? How you doing? Are we still in the beta test? Are you guys still in the beta test for Comfort? No, we're not in the beta test for Comfort. Comfort is a permanent part of Uber. They've even updated the vehicle requirements to let people know what Comfort is like. You have to scroll all the way down to the bottom after Uber Lux cars, and you see Comfort on there, what the rate requirement is. Uber Comfort is going to be a major staple of Uber for the next several, basically forever at this point. Uber Comfort, that's where it is. So, okay. Sorry about this. I turned on my whatchamacallit, my Wi-Fi on my phone, and I tell you, um, your whole world changes when you turn on your Wi-Fi and all this stuff comes up that you forgot about because your phone doesn't work. But the great thing is my phone will be back on next week, so it'll be okay. Okay. Yeah, I've been talking long enough. I should have been doing more stuff instead, but it's okay. It's Wednesday. I can do that. I might do a few trips. It's only 10:25. I might do some trips, and then there's a spot I can go to rest up. We'll go from there. Those of you that are with me right now, I really, really, really appreciate you. I've got 35 people here, and it makes me really happy. I do the live streams because basically people like the live streams. They work. So that's that. Okay, man. Going ahead and hang it up and put all this stuff in here, and get to LAX, use the restroom, and then drive for a little bit. Let's see. Does the Lexus LS 400 qualify for Uber Premier? No, it does not. And the reason why is because the Lexus LS 400 is too old. You would have to have a Lexus LS 460 or a Lexus LS 500. The Lexus, there is no such thing as a 2007 LS 400, and that car is actually too old. You have to have a 2012 or newer, maybe a 2013 in your area. You'd have to read it on Lyft and see what's going on. But no, the Lexus LS 400 was last made in model year 2000. Beginning in 2001, you have the Lexus LS 430. And then in 2007, you had the Lexus LS 460. And then for 2018, you had the Lexus LS 500. So, I mean, I understood what you were trying to say, but technically, the Lexus LS 400, the last year it was available was model year 2000, because in 2001, the 430 came out, when they came out with the all-new 4.3 liter V8 versus the revised 4.0 4-liter V8 that was available from 1995 until 2000. So no, and then for 2007, the vehicle is too old anyway. So you'd have to get a 460 to make that happen. I know my cars, man. Just let you know. Now, if you said, does the Lexus LS qualify, and you didn't mention 400, then I would have said yes. But it depends on what year your vehicle is. then that's when it gets there. But when you said the 400, that changed everything right there. What does an Acura TLX qualify for? Well, it depends on what your area is and what you need to qualify for. But I can tell you this: an Acura TLX um, in Southern California, in Los Angeles, it qualifies for Uber X, Uber Comfort, and Uber Select. Um, However, for Uber Comfort, it has to be a 2014 or newer. For Uber Select, it has to be a 2009 or newer. And for Uber X, it has to be 15 model years or newer. So, given that we're approaching 2020, subtract 15 from that, got 2005. So, figure, okay, you would need to have a 2006 or newer to go from there. How low will the rates go? Who knows how low the rates will go? The rates will go as low as the drivers will tolerate them to go. What's up, Peterson? I will be out there with you for Labor Day weekend. Good night, Mr. Peterson. Get some rest. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will be out here for Labor Day working. Be working all day Thursday, very hard all day Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, pushing it hard. There's going to be a lot of people out here. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will be doing well. I am sincerely hoping to push it to $500 a day. I think it's going to work. How do you feel about unionizing Uber? Well, the question about unionizing Uber is why do you want to unionize? I mean, it sounds great, but realistically, why do you want to unionize? Because see, the problem with trying to unionize Uber is because we're being told that we're independent contractors. Each one of us has different objectives for what we want the platform to do for us. And some of the things that some drivers want, some drivers may not want them. Having a union, I will say this: when I was a bus operator for Metro, I was a union officer. I was the legislative representative, and my job was to represent our local when it came to legal matters. My job was to learn about the laws that governed the relationship between bus operators and the bus company, and make sure that the members of the local were educated on those matters, so they knew how those things affected them. It was a very important position to have because it's a position that I could have used to ultimately lead to bigger, higher, better positions in union leadership. So do I believe in unions? Yes, I do. But you got to ask yourself, why do you want to do it? What are your results? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish by unionizing? Some drivers might not appreciate that. And where's the cost? Okay, so how do you feel about unionizing Uber? Okay, what do I need to get my TCP license, and what's the cost? Getting a TCP is not that difficult, but it's not that easy either. I will tell you the best thing you want to do is you want to go through a, a service. A, it's a legal firm, and that's what he specializes in, helping TCP companies become a reality. He charges $1,700 for his service. Um, there's two components to the service that he offers. One component pays for the corporate filing process, because you need to have either a corporation or an LLC. Um, the corporation or the LLC, and then you need to finally pay for the permit itself. The permit is $1,000. If you get a B permit, it's $1,500 if you get an A permit. I am not certain if you have to pay that every year or a one-time fee. I don't know, but that's what it is. Knowing the state of California, you got to pay that every year. So if you contact businessrocket.net, they'll answer all of your questions before you spend a penny. You can be on the phone with them for 40 minutes. They will explain everything to you in a very calm, easy to understand manner, so you can decide if it's the right thing for you to do to get your own TCP. I highly recommend Business Rocket. They helped me form my company, and were I able to continue with the TCP process, I would have done it as well too. But I was unable to get a vehicle, and it doesn't make sense to get a TCP if you don't have a vehicle. So that's that. But in order for you to truly start your company working with Business Rocket minus a vehicle, I would say you would need to have about $5,000 to $7,000 to work with businessrocket.net, because you'll need the money to pay for the permit and pay for the corporate fees, the insurance, and the DMV pool. DMV pool's only $5, but still you got to pay for it. To get the private mailbox for your address and everything, all those things have to be done. So businessrocket.net, that's who you want to contact for this. Businessrocket.net. Remember, you know what I need? I know what I need. I need a Red Bull. That's what I need, and that'll snap me right out of this that I'm dealing with. You know, one of the reasons why I've been dragging today, in spite of the fact that I got plenty of sleep, and I mean plenty of sleep, I have been so tired all day today. I don't know why, but I have been so tired. Yeah, businessrocket.net, they will be the main people that will help you, because this is all they do all day long, every day. They're expert at this. There's masters of it. And the great thing about it is this: their fees are so affordable, wonderfully affordable for what they do. They communicate with you every step of the way, very professional. They are absolutely the best. Torsten uses them for all of his corporate services. He's very happy with them. And when he talked about them, I immediately got on the phone and called them, and they took great care of me. And I'll tell you in a second when I'm ready to form my TCP for mine, if I decide to do it. But the way things are going now, I'm probably not going to do it. By the time January gets here, more than likely, I'll be leaving California. But yeah, they'll take care of. They'll take exceptional care of you. I can guarantee you that. All right. What's the lowest rated rider that you've given a ride to, and how was your experience? Have you seen a rider with a 3.0 or lower rating? The lowest rated person I ever picked up had a 2.8 rating. Believe it or not, they had a 2.8. I picked up that person, and it was relatively uneventful. But I was concerned about rating. But I can tell you this: riders that are rated below a 4.7 um, they almost always have two things in common. Number one, they always make you wait. They'll be the kind of person who you go through a lot of trouble to get there, and it actually took you more than 5 minutes to get there. And then when you get to the location, they'll make you wait the additional whole 5 minutes. It's amazing. And then they'll come out at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, like it's no thing. You're sitting there. You're either parked in the red, and cops are just going all around you, and you're worried about getting a ticket, or what was it? I mean, I lost my train of thought. It literally just went away just like that. Um, but I hope that answered your question, because I think it's an issue of where I gotta go to sleep. Oh, they'll make you wait, and you are blocking you're blocking traffic, or you're parked in the red zone, and they have no concept of this whatsoever, especially if you're blocking traffic, and they don't understand it. The second thing why a rater will be rated less than a 4.6 is because I'm probably just gonna go ahead and go to sleep, because Wednesday is a low key day for me, and I'm like, you know, they don't tip. Some drivers are adamant about who don't tip. If they don't tip, you don't get 5 stars, and that is their policy. And so, you'll see it. Look, I have a 5.0 rating as an Uber rider, and why is that? Because every time I order the car, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm right outside waiting for the vehicle to come. The car comes, I wave, I greet them, I say hello, I get in the car, I give them quick conversation. If they don't want to talk, I don't talk to them. They can listen to whatever music they want. I'm not a backseat driver. I'm not running the app. I'm not running my Google while their Google is running at the same time. I don't ask for temperature changes. Hey, could you blow the air conditioning? Could you make it hot in the car? I don't do that. I don't eat, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't vape. I'm not trying to be touchy-feely with the driver. I mind my business. And while I'm in the car with the rider, not until the ride is over, I sit in the car, we talk, everything is okay. I'm giving them 5 stars while we're on the ride. And I'm giving them the tip while we're rolling. And so they're driving, and they'll see an indication that says, hey, your rider just gave you kudos for professional service and whatnot. And your rider just gave you a $10 tip. They see this while I'm driving. Why wouldn't I get 5 stars? I'm doing everything possible. And not only that, the tip is $10 like I said, that $10. I give $10. I don't care if the trip is $100. They get an extra $10 on their trip. That was something else I was going to say, but I forgot my train of thought. But no, that's what it is. There were times where, I'll tell you this, when it comes to customers, I've only had to give 4 stars on a handful of occasions. The last time I gave 4 stars, actually I gave them 1 star. It was only 2 times I've ever given 1 star. And this is what happened. I had a group of people get in the car, and they were traveling from one place in Hollywood, and they were going to a hotel. They were going to this private house party in Beverly Hills off of Sunset Boulevard. So anyone who knows Beverly Hills, you're going westbound on Sunset Boulevard, you get to Whittier. You go through Whittier, and then you have this very sharp right turn that suddenly veers north, and you're going up the hill, and eventually you leave Beverly Hills and you're going into Homely Hills. Well, as soon as you made that sharp right curve, about 2 driveways down is the driveway you needed to go into. And so the young ladies, they're in the back seat, they get out the car, and then they leave the rear door open. You know, one of the rudest and most insulting thing that a customer can do is leave the rear door open. They're doing that because they're sending a message to you by being passive aggressive. I'd rather they slam the door than just leave it open. And so I'm like, hey, why are you leaving the door open? You know, you open the door, get out the car. You should close the door. But I had 6 people in the vehicle, and not one person closed the door. And so I said, okay, fine. And so what happened was, when it came time to rate them, I went back into the app, because you know they only give you a few seconds to rate them. So I went back into the app and I changed it from 5 stars to 1 star. And then I wrote them and I said, it was very rude of you to leave the rear door open that you used. I wrote that to them. I'm like, I'm not, there's, you know, I don't care what, and get this, they left me 5 stars and a tip. I'm like, no, it was, why are you going to be that rude and that and that entitled that you just, what had to happen? See, because if it were the Jeep or any other car, I could have just simply reached across and closed the door from the driver's seat and not. But in this car, I can't do that. This vehicle is too big for that. I had to get up out of the vehicle, go all the way around the truck to close the door, and then come all the way back around the back up and go away. I'm like, at that moment, I really didn't feel like getting out the seat, and it should not have had to happen in the first place, but it did. It's rude. People are rude. So, you know, if they greeted me or not, I really don't remember. I don't think they did. They got in the car, and, you know, I always say good morning, good evening, you know, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And I don't think they acknowledged me. And that was the one thing that set me off. Oh, and then get this. I let them listen to their music too. And they were listening to the music just loud and blasting like it was no thing or so. So the largest tip I've ever received was $400. I talked about that a few times already, but basically it was a lady who was visiting from the Midwest, and it's fascinating. What happened was, I was speaking with her, and we got into the subject about, you know, various things that was happening and so on. Eventually, I told her that, you know, I was working because I was trying to make this money to help save my stuff in storage, and she was like, you know, I've been praying that I could help somebody instead of, you know, helping myself on my birthday. I want to give someone a gift instead, because it will help me by doing this. And so she gave me $300, but when I went to count the money or do something different with it, an additional $100 came available. So she had a total of $400 available for me, and I used those funds to, you know, try to keep my stuff in storage. And well, let's see, it ultimately, even though it helped me in the short run, in the long run where I am now, it did not help at all, because I lost my stuff. So that's what it is. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. I'm starting to move around and get weird, and I need to get some sleep. I need to take a I need to do a what's that thing called? A Red Bull, or a frappuccino. But I told myself no more frappuccinos because the milk kills my stomach. All right, everybody, I'm gonna hang it up. I will catch y'all on the. I'm going to do it. Oh, well, one thing, Jordan, I'll tell you about this. The average person won't do what I do. And the average person is, they won't tip while the trip is going on. The app clearly tells you can give them a tip while the trip is going on. You can give them 5 stars while the trip is happening. You can leave notes while it's happening. But, people don't want to do that. Funny thing about driving and rideshare is, people are very comfortable taking your service and paying after the fact. It's weird, but that's how it is. So I make sure while I'm in the car. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go on ahead and knock this out. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Darius. That they gave you they did you like that. I had a drunk guy. It was his birthday party, and he wanted to play Highway to Hell in front of his apartment complex at 1 o'clock in the morning in Hollywood. He wanted me to roll down all the windows, blast the radio at full volume, playing Highway to Hell, and he's like, louder, louder, louder. And I'm like, no, sir, I'm sorry, I can't turn it up any louder. This is as loud as it's gonna go. You can turn it up louder, you can turn it up louder. It's gonna affect your tip, it's gonna affect your tip. I'm like, sir, I don't work for tips. And then eventually I had to say, okay, you know what, dude, the ride is over, have a good one. Yeah, that's what he wanted to play. He wanted to play whoever wrote this song, Highway to Hell. But that's what he wanted. This is a older guy with some money, but he was drunk. He was celebrating his birthday. Oh, you're not gonna get a good tip. You're not gonna do this or that. Okay, fine. I don't want tips anyway. So, all right, everybody, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. I will catch you on the next video. I appreciate y'all. Y'all hung in there with me. I spent most of my day running my mouth on this live stream. Have a good one.